नामन मानक ठान मूल मचांगवा जे तो प्रिया दी सिक याव ना टाहे कहिदा यावना ठाहे कहिदा. It says that every heart, every human life is a precious jewel given to the world by the Creator. Do not harm them. Do not kill anybody. And if you really want to be close to God and feel God's presence, then never break anyone's heart. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you for mom's demand. I'm just so touched by Kimberly Sheridan, a great artist who has painted paintings of victims of gun violence in the United States, and she has been trained to tell the story of people who have been taken away from their loved ones by this madness of gun violence. So she's trying to raise consciousness and awareness about this epidemic that America is facing, but at the same time telling a human story and giving us a really compassionate look at those people who have been taken away from us. So Kimberly has been kind to have a portrait of these Sikh men and women who were killed in Wisconsin at the Oak Creek Temple in 2012. And so Kimberly, we want to thank you for your kindness, your compassion, and your persistent effort to keep this issue in our consciousness, in our radar screen. So what would you like to say to the Sikh community in America as well as worldwide?
I want to say this is the very first group portrait I ever tried to paint. Before they were singles or doubles, but not something like this. So it's modest in size, but it's a real breakthrough. Every single person, I call them marchers. They're not victims anymore, they're marchers. Are my art teachers. I've had 243 art teachers in counting. But Satwat Singh, Lion King, carries a little cub that made you now, pioneer, immigrant. The lion will grow up to make a mighty roar. His son Pardi Singh knows his pictures and has given his blessing to go to a rightful home. Ranjit and Sita Singh, brothers, they tilled the soil together. They came to visit Oak Creek together, and they went over to the other side of the pale together, holding together a sacred symbol of Sikhism. I can't remember what the name of it is.
Khanda.
What?
Khanda?
Prakash.
Oh.
Ranjit and Sita are holding the sword surrounding the rock.
Yes.
Prakash Singh, prime of life, husband, father, holds the hawk that sees when danger is coming. And when he did, he told his family to run downstairs to safety. When he went after the intruder, to give his life for his community. And Suvek Singh Katrat, venerable man, full of wisdom, in his upper 80s, gently puts his hand on the swan. Two delicate creatures on the outside, incredible life, flow of life inside, and Paramjit power. Embodiment of mother wisdom, beauty from within. Be the peacock who has lowered his feathers and humbles himself before her. That's what came through my head. That's what went on the canvas. I hope I've done justice to them. I paint everyone. I didn't read like I'm sorry I never met, and I am sorry I never met them. I'm glad you're here. Because you will broaden my understanding. Great job, great job.
Really appreciated her passion and her persistent effort to bring us all together and really realize how terrible tragedy that we all face every day in America, but we have not been able to change a scenario or change the political atmosphere. But we want to salute you for your effort.
Yes.
And to really touch so many lives and bringing this story.
This is a way of paying my debt for existing, to try and transform suffering.
Thank you so much. And in our faith, we talk about Chardi Kala. Chardi Kala means that you remain in positive spirit even when you face a tragedy, a barrier, or difficulty. So may God always give you the Chardi Kala.
Chardikala.
Chardi Kala.
Chardikala.
Yes, to stay positive and continue to march on. Yes. So thank you so much, and we want to thank the Moms Demand Action, a group which is really bringing, an effort to create awareness about the epidemic of gun violence. And I want to thank Preeti Menon for organizing this entire effort and bringing us all together. And we are so indebted to Kimberly for giving us this painting, and this will be housed at Guru Gobind Singh Foundation, Sikh Spiritual Center in Rockville, Maryland. And we are so grateful that we would love to have this painting forever.
You must send us pictures when it's on.
Absolutely, we will. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving us the honor and an opportunity to connect with you all. This is really a very moving experience for each one of us, and especially for our community. We have just marked the 10th anniversary of the killing of these great individuals at the Oak Creek Sikh congregation, Sikh temple in Wisconsin. And I visited the temple right after the killing had taken place. And it was just a very devastating experience to see. And I was also at the funeral of these individuals in Wisconsin. I had gone for the prayer. So that experience can never be, it is forever etched in my mind, and not only in my mind, but in the minds of every member of the Sikh community throughout the United States. And it is so unfortunate that we are continuously facing this kind of situation, not just for our community, but every community. Every community has been touched. And I'm so sorry that the Jewish community has been the target. And the latest FBI statistics is saying that the Jewish community is a 31% rise in the violence. And guess who's the next community? Nobody knows about that. The Sikh community. Are the crimes and the hate against the Sikhs have risen statistically very high throughout the nation, because people think our turban and our beard somehow is connected to Taliban or to Bin Laden, and these are the people who don't belong in America. So, the people who use violence against any community, they use all these different pretexts to target communities. We are targeted because of Bin Laden, but what's wrong with the Jewish community? What's wrong with the people in Charleston or other communities or Asian communities? So it is just a very sad situation, and we are so feeling that we are helpless, that we can't do anything because our politicians have been captured or controlled by special interest groups. But here's a great news, because we have a person named Kimberly Sheridan, who's lighting a fire under the feet of those people who are not going to move. And we want to thank you for your this, in our scriptures it says Surah so pehchaniye jo lade deen ke hai, that you should only you should only consider a person the true warrior who fights for those who don't have a voice.
Yes.
You are that warrior, Kimberly, and we want to thank you for that. And this is an amazing service to not just to for our community or other communities, but it is a service to humanity. What you're doing is such a compassionate act. And we want to thank your mom for giving birth to you. And I will end my remarks this special prayer in our Sikh scriptures, which I sang at the first anniversary of the killing of the children in Sandy Hook. This was held at the National Cathedral, and I was asked to offer a prayer from the Sikh scriptures. And this is a beautiful line that I want to repeat, and I want to sing. So